everyone! Welcome back to our channel. Rosie with you from Couples Wanderlust. Today, let us discover the biggest medieval castles in the world. Castle is one of the most iconic features of European folklore. We imagine princesses, knights, horses, moats, and even the occasional dragon in our fantastical rendition of these places. Yet, few can pinpoint exactly which castles inspired these pervasive tales. Many feel that they are mostly the product of fiction, while there is no doubt that some tales have been overstated. Here are the most beautiful and biggest medieval castles in the world, which have been undoubtedly influenced our cultural conceptions of the Middle Ages. Windsor Castle, England. Possibly one of the most famous castles in Europe is Windsor Castle in England, which has been the home of British royalty for centuries. Henry I ruled over England in the 12th century, has been used by the reigning monarch, and the longest occupancy from a palace in Europe. The castle is surrounded by 13 arcs of land and features of fortification, a palace, and a small town. Today, the castle features a Georgian and Victorian design based on a medieval structure with Gothic features. One of the 3 official residences of the Queen, still fully operational and attracting tourists. Visitors can expect to visit state apartments as well as the St. George's Chapel and witness the changing of the guard. Edinburgh Castle, Scotland. Visiting Edinburgh won't be complete without visiting extensive castle. Situated on an extinct volcanic crag, Edinburgh Castle dominates the skyline of the city of Edinburgh in Scotland. One of the biggest castles in the world, surrounded by rocky cliffs, the place looks quite impenetrable. Few of the present buildings predate the 16th century. Notable exception is St. Margaret's Chapel, the oldest surviving building in the Edinburgh, which dates from the early 12th century. Frederiksborg Castle in Hillerød, Denmark. Located on 3 small islands on the Castle Lake, the distinguished Frederiksborg Castle was built as a symbol of King Christian IV's power as ruler of Denmark and Norway. The Renaissance castle became the official royal residence for more than 100 years and destroyed in a fire in 1859. The chapel and the audience chamber surviving the flames, a nationwide lottery and collection, were held to raise funds to rebuild the palace. Frederiksborg reopened in 1878 as the Museum of National History. Today, the world-renowned museum illustrates the history of Denmark through its impressive collections or portraits, historical paintings, and the interiors of the castle. Neuschwanstein Germany. Many people consider that this Bavarian masterpiece the epitome of a German castle. It's a relatively new creation, built in late 1800s at the command of King Ludwig II. The Bavarian monarch instructed his architects to design something that would reflect both operas of Richard Wagner and the romantic ideals of the Middle Ages, as much as fantasy a Sleeping Beauty castle at Disneyland, but with the snow-capped Alps as the backdrop and the Bavarian plains spread out beneath. Neuschwanstein is also a cinema darling, having appeared in numerous flicks over the years, including Chitty Chitty Bang Bang and The Great Escape. Mont-Saint-Michel, France. Few places in the world are as magical as Mont-Saint-Michel Bay in France. The awe-inspiring island, located where Normandy and Brittany meet, is peculiar and unique. Technically, not a castle, but it's difficult to anyone to deny its magnificence. On top of the island is a medieval monastery attracting pilgrims for centuries. The legend tells that Bishop Aubert ordered by Archangel Michael to build a church on top of the island. Construction of the Benedictine Abbey began in the late 10th century. The scenic island is ever-changing as the tides of the bay can recede quickly, revealing completely different views. During low tide, the island can be reached on foot, and hundreds of tourists visit each day. Museum, parish church, and the abbey are open for visitors. Did you find our video appreciating? Write your comments if we are contributing an information. Don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell to notify with our next video. Pena National Palace in Sintra, Portugal. Influenced by Middle Eastern and European Baroque styles, the Pena National Palace represents the eccentric and colorful flair of 19th century Romanticism in Portugal. King Ferdinand II designed the castle on hill in Sintra Mountains to be a summer home for the Portuguese royal family. The palace was frequently used by the royal family until the Revolution of 1910 and takeover by the Portuguese monarchy. The castle was finally restored in the 20th century and later classified as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Visitors can trek up the castle's lush hilly landscape to explore the various architecture styles that make up the Pena Palace. Bran Castle, Romania. When talking about medieval castles, mentioning Romania is a must. Many people will immediately think of Dracula and Transylvania. Bran Castle sits atop of a former Teutonic Knights stronghold dating back to the early 13th century, but the castle itself first appeared in documents dating back to 1377. The castle is approximately 2,500 feet above the sea level and rises from between surrounding trees. It overlooks the attractive village of Bran, and the several towers and turrets give a mysterious mood. Nowadays, tourists can visit the castle and wander through the narrow stairways leading to the 60 timbered rooms. Interestingly, many of them connected by underground passages. Hohenwerfen Castle, Austria. From fairy tale to ghostly is the Hohenwerfen Castle in Austria, surrounded by the Berchtesgaden Alps and the adjacent Tennen Mountains. This medieval rock castle lies approximately 25 miles from south of Salzburg. The fortification was built in the late 11th century to serve as a strategic bulwark on top of the 500 feet high rock. It served not only as a military base for Salzburg rulers, but also as a residence and hunting retreat. Today, The castle complex serves as a museum showcasing the history and the vast weapons collection. An interesting addition is the Falconry Center, offering flights demonstrations using numerous birds of prey, including eagles, falcons, hawks, and vultures. If you like our pics, give a thumbs up and share with your friends. For more information about travel and world's wonder, please subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching. See you next week. Bye!